Hey guys, what's up? Hope you all are doing well. So today we are diving into Duet Night Abyss's big launch and I'll be covering both the story content and the update details so you can jump into whichever part you are more interested in. I've added timestamps below to make it super easy to navigate. Also, if you are excited for DNA's global launch and want to stay updated with more gameplay and breakdowns like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel out a lot. Alright, let's get straight into it. So the world of Duet Night Abyss is built around something called Heaventrees. These massive crystal trees that have existed since ancient times. They grow these shiny crystals called foxine, and people basically treat them like divine gifts. Now, eventually humans figured out how to use these crystals for tech, which gave birth to Foxicore technology. Well, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but yeah. A mix of science, magic, and religion. Now, the first nation built around this belief was the Elysian Church down in the south. It all began when people first used foxine to create fire. They were so amazed by its light that they started worshipping under the Heaventree, believing it was a divine blessing. Over time, that faith grew stronger. People began spreading the word of the 9 gods, and eventually, the Elysian Church became the first powerful nation on the continent. And honestly, if it weren't for what happened next, the Great Migration, the Church might have ruled the entire world even today. So what went wrong? About 1300 years after the Church's founding, things started to fall apart. The divine light that was supposed to unite everyone began dividing them instead. The church preached that all people were equal under the gods, but in reality, the higher-ups lived in luxury while the rest struggled. Eventually, the people had enough. This huge revolt called the Great Migration broke out. Nobles, scholars, and common folks packed up and left the church, heading north, far away from the gods' influence. There they tried to build new nations, but as you can imagine, it wasn't peaceful. Disagreements turned into chaos, and out of that chaos, a new superpower emerged, the Hyperborean Empire. This empire was born through war and survival. The nobles gathered their forces, built farms and armies, and started conquering nearby lands. During these wars, they absorbed smaller nations and brought in wandering alchemists using their Foxicore technology to create even more powerful weapons. Eventually, the Hyperborean Empire became so strong that it could rival the Elysian Church itself. But yeah, not everyone benefited from this rise in power. There's another race in this world called the Sharons, ancient humanoids born with natural magic. Some of them are born with special abilities known as daimons, but instead of being admired, they are feared. The Empire sees them as dangerous, using them as soldiers, weapons, or just treating them like outcasts. The sad truth, these daimons, the ones everyone fears, are actually the strongest fighters shaping each nation's power. So yeah, the people everyone's scared of, they're also the strongest ones. Typical. Now the world's divided into 5 main factions. The Elysian Church, Hyperborean Empire, Republic of Luca, Noctojaeger, and Huakshu. All these sides have their own daimons, cultures, and agendas. And you, the player, step in as the fox hunter, also called the boy in the dreams. You are connected to a girl from an island between the church and the empire, and your stories are linked through these repeating dreams. Now, our protagonist's story stays the same irrespective of whether you take the girl or the boy, only the genders change. Its dual protagonists seem similar to Genshin's Twins or Nier Automata's storyline. 2 people, 2 worlds, 1 fate. Honestly, the setup is wild and I can't wait to see how deep it goes once we start playing. So now that you have got the story, let's get into what the 1.0 launch update actually brings. Here's everything you need to know in simple terms. The launch version has 4 story chapters: Prologue, Noctojäger 1 and 2, and Twilight 1. There are 19 playable characters and 45 weapons, and the best part? They are all free. No gacha, no RNG, just grind, earn and unlock. Honestly, it's so refreshing to see a dev team skip the paywall approach. The update system's really straightforward. One new character and a weapon every 28 days. The first one is Fina, coming November 25th with her rifle Dream Weaver's Feather. It's an elemental weapon that cycles through 4 buffs mid-combat. Sounds busted already. Instead of traditional gacha pulls, there's a secret letter system. You play immersive theater mode to earn psych shards, or technically weapon mats. As new characters drop, older ones move to nocturnal echoes, boss battles. You collect secret letter clues, trade them for materials, craft your weapons or characters, and you are done. No pulling, no gambling, just play and earn. And yeah, monetization exists, but it is purely cosmetic. There are 2 skin lines at launch, Starlight Rondo and Summer Dreams Aflutter. You can even preview and recolor them, including the skill VFX. Oh boy, someone really figured out how to do cosmetics. Alright, now the part you have actually been waiting for, the freebies. And trust me, there's a lot. You get a free Berenica, 25 pristine hourglasses, a ton of upgrade materials, and shards for 7 characters. Enough to build a solid squad right from day 1. And that's not even it. There's also this roguelike mode called Mystic Maze that gives you 60 Lisbel shards, plus a couple of 7-day login events that total up to around 20 pulls worth of rewards. So yeah, they're actually giving a ton for free. Finally, a gacha game that doesn't treat your wallet like the final boss. Now, content-wise, the first few months look packed. Friendly Games event from November 3rd, Fina Story event from November 25th, and Strangers from Afar, December 8th. This is the setting up of the next big region update. Adding to it, there are smaller events like Hymn of Abundance and Bon Voyage for extra rewards. So to sum it all up, no stat-based gacha, all characters are grindable, 28-day update cycles, cosmetic-only monetization, and a stacked list of free launch rewards. If they keep this up, this might actually set a new standard for free-to-play ARPGs. Also, quick thing I noticed while pre-downloading the game, there's a setting called Auto Hide Non-Party Members. That sounds kinda like multiplayer to me. Maybe co-op or shared hub areas later? Not sure yet, but definitely interesting. So yeah, that's the story and everything coming with Duet Night Abyss 1.0. It's honestly one of the most ambitious free ARPGs I've seen in a while, and if you are planning to jump in, I'll be covering updates, tips and my own gameplay right here. And hit that sub if you wanna explore this chaos together, and let's see if this world of light and abyss really lives up to the hype.